Okay, we are still on executive summary and we are considering description of the equipment and systems audited. What do we mean by that? When you go for power audit, you have to understand the system types or the electrical load types. We have different types of electrical loads. We will talk about that, and the electrical loads that will be powered with the solar system installation affect the costs and the performance of the solar system. You have to equally take note of the capacity ratings, the electrical load ratings. Each electrical load is rated separately. I'm saying that each electrical load is rated separately. We have some electrical loads that are 20 watts, 50 watts, 80 watts, 100 watts, and so on and so forth. There are some that are less than what we have just mentioned. So you have to take note of the electrical load. Each electrical load, you have to know the rating. You have to take note of the zoning operation hours. How long will each of the electrical load will be operated? When we go for power audit, each electrical load, you have to ask the client, sir or ma'am, how long have you been running this load? How long do you run your television? How long do you run your fridge? Because this information will certainly affect the costs and the approach to use when you are designing and installing the solar system. So you have to take note of the operating hours of each of the electrical loads. Then we move to energy data and survey findings. You have to ask several questions concerning the historical energy consumption of the building. What do we mean here is you have to ask the client, how much have you been spending on the conventional power generation? Maybe you recharge your NEPA, your lights, you run your diesel generator, you run your fuel generator, or you have other alternative power sources. You have to ask. Sometimes you collect receipts of the expenditure. How much do you spend on repairing your generator? This information must be made available when you go for power audit, because there are some times you need to face some panel to defend your quotation or your proposal. So it is very vital for you to get this information, because this is where you base your argument as to why the organization or an individual, why he or she should go solar. Because if the return on investment will take like 20 years before you can get a return on investment, the time frame is too long. The system performance evaluation O and M practices. Then we take a still on executive summary. Still on executive summary, we talk about identification and evaluation of potential EMOs. We already discussed what EMOs mean, identification and evaluation. Which electrical components will you need to eliminate? Maybe bring in new energy saving electrical appliances. When we go for power audit, most times in some of the commercial installation we do, the organization will need to let go of all those old analog AC, all those old analog fridge, all the electrical load that consumes so much power, because they will tend to drain your system, they will tend to drain the battery. Not that they cannot be powered with a solar system, but the cost of powering those old electrical loads would be too much. Example, you are going and an AC is like is about, let me say, 1 horsepower. There are some AC that they still perform their energy efficient. So we advise clients to go for such ACs. Lists of recommended EMOs and implementation plan. We already talked about implementation plan and conclusion and recommendation. Most times, this conclusion you can take it to your office after you finish designing and taking into the financial implication of going solar. You can advise the client accordingly. Conclusion and recommendation. But if it is maybe a residential solar system installation, you can just stand there and advise the client on the best way to go solar. If it is that one, you don't need much, you can tell the client, okay, how much is your budget? How much? Because each client will always have a budget for a particular project. You have to sit down with the client, ask him certain questions. How much is your budget? If he's able to let you know his budget, you can ask him, can you go maybe can you add something so that we give you a good system? Maybe if that is the last money he has budgeted for the project, no problem. We can always do load separation, in which some of those loads that are too heavy and those loads will increase the cost of solar system installation, he or she can power it with the conventional electricity, or maybe if he wants to be pumping water with solar, but the cost of installing is a system size that can run the pump. He doesn't have that financial muscle. He can be using his generator to pump water. That one might be once in a blue moon, but when it comes to maybe lighting, television, laptops, he can power with the solar system. That will drastically reduce the cost of solar system installation. So those are the recommended actions you have to advise the clients. So we are saying that by you watching this video, you have agreed not to sell Sockway Energy Academy videos. These videos belong to Sockway Energy Academy. We are saying that legal actions must will be taken if you violate this rule or this agreement. This is our warning letter. We have written it now to you to let you know that if somebody needs to learn solar, bring the person. We give you your own percentage. We give people referral bonus. If you refer people to come and learn with us, we certainly watch your hand. So there is no possibility. You have to always be original. If you want to train people, sit down and be original in your approach. We are not doing copy and paste. What we are teaching you is exactly what we do. So don't pirate these videos. It is our property. So always respect yourself and do